morning. So finishing off with our core week, and again, some of you were with me earlier in the week, some of you weren't, so I'll just do a brief little spiel into why we do our core work. First of all, what is core? So core is not just the six-pack, not just the abdominals, it's kind of everything from the diaphragm down to just below the hips. So we're talking about, yes, our abdominals, but also our obliques, our hip flexors, our glutes and our lower back. And in particular, we're thinking about our lower back in our core classes because we want to keep them protected. So often in kind of, I must say, old school, I guess, you'd focus on kind of, if you want to get a strong core, on those kind of crunches, and you're constantly crunching into the core and you're weakening that lower back, and then you develop pain and you wonder why. Okay, so what we do, we want to work the core as a full complex. So, and we're not just working in flexion, especially because we work in flexion so much, be it whether we drive, we sit at a desk, we sit at the chair, maybe we do a sport, and so we don't want to develop any more flexion than we need to. We will do a little bit of flexion, but we'll work it with strengthening the back at the same time. So we'll be looking at flexion and extension and a little bit of rotation too, because we need to get those rotation, those stabilizing muscles strong as well to get that strong core. So from a physical point of view, having a strong core obviously helps with our posture, number one. It helps us keep our form a lot longer. So when we get tired, generally we start to fall into the shoulder, fall into the hip. If we have a strong core, we're less likely to do that, and then hopefully less likely to develop little niggles. And then from a mental or emotional level, having a strong core, we feel stronger. Okay, we feel more engaged with our inner self. Even bringing the breath into it too, we can draw a little bit more focus into our everyday just by having that extra bit of strength. We can meet the world with an open heart, a strong core, and yeah. So hopefully we'll develop some of that today. So we're just going to start again, like I am here, just easy cross-legged, and if it's not easy, just sit back onto the heels, keep the knees together. And we're going to open the palms to the ceiling, and we're going to inhale the arms out, reaching up. Interlocking fingers, pressing palms to ceiling, and then gently pressing them out in front, stretching through the shoulders. Inhale, arms out, reaching up, take the gaze up. Exhale, interlocking fingers and pressing the palms away. Last one, inhale, arms out, reaching up, drawing those arms back in line with the ears, interlocking fingers, and then gently releasing to the front. We're going to inhale, arms out, reaching up. As we exhale, we're going to bring the left hand forward, right arm behind. We're going to place that left hand just above the right knee, bringing the heel of that right hand right up by the lower back. As we inhale, try to lengthen through the spine, really pressing the chest forward. And as we exhale, taking the gaze over that right shoulder as we twist the body to the right. We might press that left hand into the leg, acting as an extra little leverage. We can press that left shoulder away from the ear and maybe even tilt the head to the right, getting a nice little stretch into the neck, and only if it feels good. So if it's too early to stretch into the neck, just leave it out. Every inhale, think about lengthening. Every exhale, see if we can twist a little bit deeper. So we're working into mobilizing the core muscles before we work into that activation. So there is a little degree of activation here, but really we're just trying to stretch it out, wring out those core muscles. And then gently inhale back to center, bring both hands over to the left. Small little micro bend to the left just to release that twist. And then draw back to center. We just reverse the crisscross of the legs here just to keep it a wee bit balanced. And then open the palms to the ceiling. And we're going to inhale, arms out, reaching up. And as we exhale, right hand comes forward, left hand comes behind. We're going to rest that right hand just above the left knee. Really propping the body up with that left hand, even if it means coming up onto the fingertips. So use that left hand to get nice length in the spine as we inhale. And as we exhale, taking the gaze over that left shoulder, pressing the right hand into the leg to get an extra little bit of twist. And again, we can draw that right shoulder away from the ear and maybe tilt the head to the left. Again, only if it feels good to stretch into the neck this morning. Keep working that left shoulder back every exhale. So we're inhale, lengthening, filling the belly, and we're exhale, twisting a little bit more. Last breath here. And exhale. Lovely. Slowly roll it back to center. Bring both hands over to the right, small little micro bend to the right to release that twist. and then gently bring it back to center. So from here, your face to the front of the mat, we're going to come onto our hands and knees. We're going to keep the toes together and we're going to bring the knees as wide as we can. Come and setting up for a nice wide-legged child's pose. And then from here, we're going to sit the heels, or sit the sit bones back onto the heels, pressing the ground away as we walk the hands forward. So try to keep that connection of the sit bones on the heels for as long as we can. And then rest the head down onto the mat or onto a block if the neck's not supported here. So just make sure the head is connected to something, either the ground or the block. Keeping the arms nice and active, so elbows are off the ground here, maybe even coming up onto the fingertips and feeling that nice stretch between the shoulder blades as we inhale. And as we exhale, see if we can sink the chest a little bit more, sink the sit bones back a little bit more. We're going to inhale high up onto the fingertips as we walk them all the way over to the right, as far as we can go. Exhale here. Maybe placing the left hand on top of the right hand. And we're going to press the ground away, see if we can really coax that left sit bone back toward the heel. Every inhale, maybe walking the fingertips out a little bit more. And every exhale, again, sinking the hips, sinking the heart. Feel that lovely stretch all along the left side of the body. Nice release into the lower back here. And then we're going to inhale back to center, keep the head low. And then exhale it all the way over to the other side. Again, as far as we can go, relax the head down. And then maybe placing the right hand on top of the left. So if the head isn't connected to the ground, if the neck is feeling stressed out, again, just place either a towel or a block underneath just to take the pressure off the neck here. Every inhale extending through the fingertips. Every exhale sinking a little bit deeper. Really actively pressing the ground away. So using that connection of the hands on the ground to see if we can draw that right sit bone back a little bit more. And then slowly inhale back to center. Staying high in the hands, we're going to tuck the chin in, walk the hands back toward the body as we sit back up onto the heels. We can roll over onto our right side and then extend the legs out in front. Just check in that you have your block and your towel beside you here, and then we're going to lie back onto the mat. So from here, we're going to hug the right knee into the chest. So feet are flat to start with, hug the right knee into the chest. And then we're going to come straight into our figure four. So rest that right ankle just below the left knee as we work the left heel toward the bum. We're pressing the right knee away, a nice strong flex to that right foot. As we inhale, we're going to lift the left foot off the ground, shin parallel to the ceiling, and then we can either interlock the hands or the towel around the back of that left hamstring. So if we're rolling into the shoulders or if we're rolling off that lower back, use the towel as a little extension of the arms. As we inhale, working the shoulder blades together, see if we can find a full connection from the lower back right up to the neck, maybe tucking the chin a little bit. And as we exhale, we're drawing the left knee toward the face and working that right knee away from the body. So we shouldn't feel this into the right knee at all. If we do, just flex that right toe a little bit more toward the knee, or just back off as we pull that left knee toward the face. So feeling this into the right hip. So we can choose to stay here, just focusing on that lovely hip opener, or if we want to bring the upper core into it, as we inhale, we're going to press the chest toward the ceiling, lifting the upper back off the ground, so the head and neck will follow here. You can always place the tongue to the top of the roof of your mouth, just to take the stress out of the neck. If it doesn't feel good in the neck, just allow the head relax and just take it back into the hips. So again, every inhale, see if we can press the chest a little bit higher toward the ceiling. Keep that lower back grounded. Every exhale, drawing that left knee in. Hold it here. Don't forget that breath. Inhale, chest rises. Exhale, left knee in. For 3, for 2, and 1. Slowly release the head, release the foot. We're going to cross that right leg fully over the left. Extend both arms out in line with the shoulders, palms down. And then we're going to shift the hips a little bit to the right and allow both knees drop over to the left. Coming into a lovely little spinal twist here. Gaze goes over the right fingertips. As we inhale, really filling the belly as full as we can with that breath. And as we exhale, see if we can allow those knees drop over a little bit more. If they don't drop over easy, again, just shift the hips a little bit more to the right. So create that space, but where that hip is placed. Keeping both shoulders grounded evenly. And we're feeling that twist right from the lower back, through the rib cage, up into that nice space in the chest, and then taking it the full way into the neck as we look over the fingertips. Feel that release in the right glute and into the lower back. Last breath here. And then slowly release it back to center. We're going to uncross the legs. We're going to hug that left knee in toward the chest, and then we're going to rest that left ankle just below the right knee, coming into our figure four as we work that right heel toward the bum. Nice strong flex to the left foot, drawing the toe toward the knee and working that left knee away from the body. We're going to inhale the right foot off the ground, shin parallel to the ceiling, and then either interlocking hands or tail around the back of that right hamstring. As we inhale, press the chest toward the ceiling, working the shoulder blades together. And as we exhale, draw that right knee a little bit closer toward the face. So keep checking in that lower back is grounded. We shouldn't feel like we're rocking and rolling on the lower back. So nice, stable lower back as we work into our hip opener. And if it is rock and rolling, just drop that right leg down until we feel that connection, and then see if we can draw back into the chest. Again, stay here if that feels good and you don't want to bring the upper core into it. If you want to join me, if it feels okay in the neck. We're going to inhale, press the chest toward the ceiling. Head and neck will follow. And as we exhale, we're hugging that right knee in toward the face. So again, sometimes it's helpful to place the tongue to the top of the neck. Just allows those front neck muscles relax a little bit. And again, if it's not relaxing, just take the neck out of it altogether. So this is just allowing us engage in our upper abdominals. Every inhale, pressing the chest toward the ceiling. Every exhale, drawing that right knee in. So we're thinking about pressing the chest as opposed to curling the head in. So if we press the chest up, the neck should stay neutral for 3, for 2, and 1. Lovely. Slowly release the head, release the foot. We're going to cross that left leg fully over the right. Extend both arms out in line with the shoulders. We're going to shift the hips a little bit to the left, and then allow both knees drop over to the right. Gaze goes over the left fingertips, and we're keeping that left shoulder grounded into the mat. As we inhale, feel that length in the spine, fill the belly, and as we exhale, allow those knees drop over a little bit more, and just really enjoy that release into the left hip. Nice little stretch into the glute, the lower back, and just really bringing out the core muscles here, creating a little bit more space. And the more you fill the belly with the breath as well, you're getting an extra little stretch into the abdominals. So really do take advantage of that breath to work into the core. We're going to slowly inhale back to center, uncrossing the legs, placing the feet flat, walking those heels toward the bum. I want you to imagine that you have a fist between the knees here. So that's the gap, and we're pressing the knees to hold that fist in place, but they're never quite touching. We're going to place the hands flat onto the mat, fingertips point toward the front of the mat. As we inhale, we're going to lift the lower back, middle back, upper back, press the hips toward the ceiling. We're going to walk the shoulder blades together. And at this point, see if you can interlock the hands into a little fist, bringing the palms together and really pressing that fist and arms and shoulders into the mat. So you're taking all the pressure off the neck here. Pressing the feet into the ground as we press the hips toward the ceiling. Again, you can choose to stay here, or if you want to join me as we inhale, we're going to press that right foot so that the knees are together, but that lower right leg is extended. Keep a nice flexion to the right foot. We're going to inhale, press the hips toward the ceiling, and as we exhale, gently lower the bum toward the ground and hover. Inhale, pressing the hips up. Exhale, gently lower. 3 more. So we're activating lower back, hamstring, glutes, abdominals, loads of things happening. Really good little core activation here. with control. Last one, inhale it up. And exhale, gently lower. We're going to inhale up, coming back into our bridge, so both feet are on the ground. We're going to do the same on the left while we're here, keeping those hips lifted. Again, choose to stay in your bridge. Or we can extend that left leg out, so lower leg extends out, knees are together, left foot is flexed. As we inhale, press the hips toward the ceiling. You can press that right foot into the ground, and then exhale, gently lower. Inhale, press it up. Exhale, gently lower. 3 more with control. Try to really press those hips up as much as you can. Feel the lower back engage. Feel the glutes activate. Feel that hamstring engage. Last one. And slowly release it all the way down to the ground. Unlock the hands, bend the knee, bring the feet flat onto the ground. We're going to hug both knees in toward the chest. Really squeeze them in toward the chest. As we exhale, we're going to draw both knees outside the line of the body, getting the hips as wide as we can, getting that bend in the knee as deep as we can. We shouldn't feel this in the knee. Keep the feet nice and active. Lower back is flat on the ground. We're going to see if we can get the soles of the foot parallel to the ceiling or almost parallel. We're going to hold on to either the calves, the shins, the ankles, inner arches of the feet, or we can interlock the middle of the next finger around the big toes. So we're setting up for a happy baby here. Again, check if you're rocking and rolling on that lower back. Just place that lower back onto the ground, even if it means bringing the grip a little bit closer toward the knees. As we inhale, we're pressing the soles of the feet up toward the ceiling. And as we exhale, we're drawing those knees down beside us to the ground. Inhale, pressing up, activating. Exhale, drawing those knees down, getting a little bit more space. 3 more like that. Every exhale, see if we can get a little bit more space into those hips. If the elbows are inside the knees, you can always use them as a little prop to open the hips a little bit deeper. Last one. And gently lower. Lovely. Release the grip, hug those knees back into the chest, and then release the feet onto the ground. So we're going to do a similar little sequence to what we did on Tuesday if you were with me. So use the block if you have it. If you don't, we can improvise. So we're going to start lying back, feet are flat on the ground. We're going to hold the left knee in toward the chest, and then we're going to bring the left knee so that it's stacked directly over the hip, and then we're going to bring the heel out at 90 degrees. So we've 90 degrees from the hip to the knee, knee to the heel, heel to the toe, just on the left. If you have a block, you're going to reach for it now, place it just below that left knee, and then we're going to hook it in place using that left elbow. So we're pressing the left elbow into the block and the leg. If you don't have a block, stay with me. Keep the leg as it is. From here, we're going to press the chest toward the ceiling, whether you have a block or not, and we're going to rest the neck into that left hand. So chest is pressed. We're not curling into the neck here. So nice neutral neck here. So again, if you don't have a block, you do the exact same, but you're going to bring the elbow nice and wide. Okay, so you're not holding the block in place. You're keeping the chest open, elbow nice and wide. You can place the hand on the belly just so we feel that activation, or on the ground if that doesn't feel so great. We're going to inhale here, draw that right knee in toward the left, and as we exhale, we're going to press that right leg out at 45, keeping a nice active right leg here. Inhale, knees together. Exhale, pressing the foot out at 45. Again, if this doesn't feel good on the neck, you can take the neck out of it altogether. Rest the head down. You're still working on a lovely lower core activation and middle core. All the time thinking about pressing the lower back into the ground. So we don't want a little gap in that lower back. We're not trying to compress, we're trying to engage. You might even hover the leg a little bit lower, but keep that connection of the lower back. So the lower that extended leg goes, the more activation we're getting, and we're getting a little bit into the hip flexor then too, but only if that lower back remains engaged. Last one, center. Exhale it out, and then gently back to center. Release the head, release the feet, release the block. Bringing the feet about the width of the mat apart, knees knocked together. We can rest the hands on the belly and just gently windscreen wiper the knees side to side, maybe taking the gaze the opposite way as to where the knees are falling. Nice and slowly, just wringing it out. And then coming straight over to our other side when you're ready. So again, feet are grounded. We're going to hug that right knee in, and then we're going to bring it out at a nice 90-degree angle. So nice active right foot there, 90, 90, 90, all the angles. And then we're going to get our block. We're going to place it just below the right knee, hook it in place with the right elbow. Press the chest up toward the ceiling. Feel those core muscles engaged. And then we're going to rest the back of the head into that right hand. Again, if you don't have a block, keep the elbow nice and wide and just press the chest toward the ceiling. We're going to inhale, left knee to right knee in. Exhale, pressing that left foot out at 45. Inhale together. Exhale, extend. Continue with your own breath, so control the movement. Again, you can always place the tongue to the top of that mouth to relax the front neck muscles. And again, feel free to take the neck out of it at any stage if it's a little bit too much this morning. So just lifting the chest helps us access that layer of muscles just below the diaphragm, so that we don't get with our lower ab crunches. And again, we're always pressing that lower back into the ground to keep that connection. Last one, center. Exhale it out. And then back to center. Release the head, release the block, release the feet. Again, feet nice and wide, knees knocked together, and gently windscreen wiping side to side. Again, if we want to gaze the other way as we work through that twist, bringing it all the way up through the spine and into the neck. And just feel that nice release in the lower back and glutes as you press them into the ground. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to meet back in center. Second little one here. So again, this time, feet start flat on the ground to start with, knees are bent. We're going to hug both knees in toward the chest. And then we're going to bring both feet out at our 90-90 angle. So hip to knee to heel, heel to toe. Nice strong flex of the feet. Pressing that lower back into the ground. We're going to reach for a block again. This time we're holding it at its longer end. So we're going to place it just below both knees. And then we're going to get both elbows and hook the block in place. So again, if you don't have a block, we're just going to, we'll press the chest up toward the ceiling first. Rest the base of the head into those hands. And if we don't have the block, just take the elbows nice and wide. Allow the elbows drop back, but still press the chest toward the ceiling. Again, this in itself is a lovely activation. You don't need to bring any movement into it. If this feels good and you want to hold it here, just don't forget to breathe. If you want to join me, we're inhaling here at center. And as we exhale, we're going to press that right foot out to 45. Inhale, center. Exhale, left foot out to 45. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Continue with your own breath. So all the time, pressing that lower back into the ground. So we're activating those lower back muscles. So we're creating a nice balance from the front of the body into the back. So working the core is a complex of muscles. Feel that core engaged. Feel that inner strength. Last one, both sides. Excellent. Relax the head. Release the block, release the feet. And again, last little windscreen wiper in side to side. Again, you can bring the neck, the head into it if you wish. And just enjoy that nice little release. Last one in this sequence, again, meeting at center. Feet are flat, knees are bent. We're going to get our block, we're going to place between the knees. Again, if you don't have a block, just imagine that fist, that you're pressing into the fist, but the knees are never quite getting there. So we're working on engaging those little hip abductors here. So our inner thighs should feel activated as we press into that block. We're going to inhale, lift the feet off the ground, coming out at our 90-90, pressing the lower back into the mat. This time, everybody's going to keep their elbows wide, whether we have the block or not. We're going to press the chest toward the ceiling and then rest the base of the skull into those hands. Draw those elbows out, draw those shoulder blades together as we press the chest toward the ceiling. So again, we're not pulling on the neck. Nice open chest here. We can choose to stay here. Again, this is a lovely activator into the core. Or if you wish to join me, we're inhaling here, and as we exhale, we're going to press both feet out at 45. Inhale, center, keep that lower back engaged. Exhale, pressing it out. Inhale, center. Exhale it out. Inhale, center. Exhale it out. Keep that block squeezed in. Last one, center. This time as we exhale it out, we're going to hold for 5, for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Hugging that block in. Release it off to the side. Giving the knees a little squeeze into the chest here. And then releasing both feet to the ground. We're going to place both hands onto the ground. Fingertips point toward the front of the mat. We're going to press the feet into the ground as we lift the hips up toward the ceiling, coming into a bridge pose, but just using this bridge pose to release a little bit into the front of the body. As we inhale, see if we can really fill the belly. So try to get that belly as full as we can to get a little bit more of a stretch into the abdominals. Hold here for 3. Really pressing the hips skyward for 2. And 1. Slowly, slowly release, little bit by little bit. And then hug those knees into the chest. We're going to crisscross at the ankles. And we're going to take 3 or 4 rolls forward and back along the mat. Again, using that motion to really massage the full length of the spine. From the very base right up to the neck. And when you've taken your 3 or 4 rolls, see if you can engage with your core to draw yourself up to seat. From here, we're going to come straight into our tabletop. So coming on to hands and knees. Really spreading those fingers nice and wide, pressing the finger pads and knuckles into the ground, shoulders over elbows over wrists, and elbow creases are faced forward. Just check those joints are nicely stacked. Knees are about hip width distance apart. We're going to inhale, press the chest forward, gaze up toward the ceiling, arching through the spine. Exhale, pressing into the ground, curling through the spine, take a gaze back to the belly. Inhale, gaze goes forward and up, a little bend to the elbows. Exhale, curling through and release through the shoulder blades. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, really actively pressing into the ground to get that stretch in the shoulders. Continue with your own breath. Maybe closing down the eyes and just feeling every single last vertebrae along the spine open up. Feel that blood flow, feel that energy flow. Notice anywhere where the movement is restricted, where there's any little niggles, and take an extra couple of breaths into that space. Hold it there. Use the breath to access a little bit more space. Really tucking that chin in when we curl, feeling a little stretch into the neck. And then wherever we're at, we're going to gently meet back in center, opening the eyes if they're closed. And we're going to do a little core glute sequence here. So keeping that left hand grounded, just check in that the left wrist is directly underneath the left shoulder. We're going to inhale, right arm out, left foot back, and then notice if the belly's dropped, if the bum's popped up, we're going to rotate that pelvis under, almost like we want to suck the belly button to the back of the spine here. And then we're going to engage that left glute to get the leg to lift. And then we're going to bend that left knee so that we can feel a little bit of activation into that left hamstring. Foot is firmly flexed here. Really pressing out through that right arm. Neck is relaxed, so just think about the neck as an extension of the spine and keep those abdominals nice and strong. We're going to either hold it here or we can inhale, draw right elbow, left knee in. Exhale, extend it out, pressing the sole of the foot up towards the ceiling, feeling that glute activate. Inhale it in, core. Exhale it out, glute. Inhale in, feel the abdominals. Exhale, extend and lift. Continue to your own breath. As we extend and lift, feel that little bit of space into the hip. The slower and more controlled this movement is, the more you're activating all those little stabilizer muscles. So again, try to get rid of the shake if we can. Notice if we're jumping into that left wrist, just shift it back until it's back in line with the shoulder. Nearly there. Last one in. Exhale, extend, hold it here for 3. Really pressing the sole of the foot up toward the ceiling for 2. And 1. Slowly release, right hand down. Place the ball of the left foot onto the ground, extending through that back leg. And just getting a nice little stretch into the left leg. So pressing back through the heel for 3, for 2, and 1. Left knee comes back to meet right. Same deal on the other side. Right hand is grounded. Check in that shoulder is over the wrist. Maybe if we need to bring the chest forward a little bit. Extend that left arm out. Pressing back through the right foot. Again, engage the front abdominals. Feel that release in the lower back. Engage that right glute. Get that leg to lift and then bend that right knee. So again, we're going to feel the hamstring here too. Nice strong flex to that right foot. Again, we can choose to hold it here. Lovely pose in itself. Or if we wish, we're going to inhale, left elbow, right knee into center. Exhale, extend it out and lift. Inhale it in. Exhale it out. Inhale in. Exhale, extend. Continue to your own breath. If you find that that wrist is coming out front, so we shouldn't be able to lift our fingertips from that right hand off the mat. If we are, either draw the wrist back in line with the shoulder or draw the chest forward so the shoulder automatically comes over the wrist. So important here that we're not dumping into the wrists. Last 2. Last 1. Hold it out here, pressing the sole of the foot toward the ceiling for 3, for 2, and 1. Left hand comes down. We're coming onto the ball of that right foot as we extend through that right leg. Pressing the heel back and just feeling that lovely stretch into the lower leg, maybe even a little bit into the upper. Hold for 3, for 2, and 1. Right knee comes back to meet left. We're going to press both hands firmly into the ground, tuck the toes under and sit the sit bones back toward the heels. And just gently move through the toes here. Just see how that little stretch feels into the toes. Pressing back through the heels, feeling that nice release into the soles of the feet. As we press the ground away, just gently tuck the chin in toward the chest and feel that nice stretch into the neck and the upper back. When you're ready, we're going to engage the core, lift the knees off the ground and then gently press the hips up toward the ceiling as we extend through the legs, pressing the heels down to the ground and coming into our downward dog. So again, check in with the hands, fingers are nicely spread, finger pads and knuckles press into the ground, nice and light in the wrists. Really actively pressing the ground away here and feeling those shoulder blades engage as the chest moves toward the ground. We're going to inhale, lift the hips, see if we can create a little bit more space in that lower back. And as we exhale, gently lower those heels toward the ground, keeping the quads nice and active to help create a little bit more space. And then gently just walk it out, allow opposite heels melt toward the ground, nice and easy. Just enjoy that nice stretch into the back of the body. Head and neck are relaxed, so we're looking back toward the knees or toward the belly. And just imagine ourselves like a perfect little upside down V. So the legs are too far back, not too far forward. And we're going to look forward between the hands. Gently walk to the front of the mat, a little bit by little bit. Bring the feet nice and wide, just a little bit wider than hip width distance apart. Allow the head and neck fully relax. And just hold it here in a fold, resting the belly onto the legs, knees are bent, and just feel that nice release into the lower back. Give the head a little shake. Then we exhale, just fold in a little bit more. So nice relaxed forward fold here. From here, we're going to tuck the chin in and slowly rise up to stand. Well done. Take a little drink here if you need it. We're going to go through a couple of rounds of sun salutations, but really just using our sun salutations as a vehicle to work with our planks. Okay, so a lot of variations within it. When you're ready, we're going to meet to the front. So things I want you to think about here is when we're in our planks, we're pressing the ground away. So think about pressing against a wall, you automatically feel those shoulder muscles engaged. So we don't want to be dumping into the shoulders. We're pressing the ground away all the time. If it feels not so good, drop down to your knees at any stage from your plank, but keep the core long. So we're not popping the bum up, keep the core long. So abs are activated and that lower back is activated. So please feel free to use those knee variations. Don't battle through the pose. Okay, when you're ready, meeting at the front, feet about hip width distance apart, spreading all corners of the feet into the mat, pressing the palms together, pressing the chest forward, drawing the shoulder blades back. Engage the abdominals, engage the glutes, the legs, a little bit of springiness into the knees here. When you're ready, we're going to inhale, arms out, reaching up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping right foot back to lunge, left foot to meet it. We just start with our traditional plank here. So stack those shoulders over elbows over wrists, elbow creases face forward. We shouldn't be able to lift those fingertips off the ground. If we can, just draw the chest forward a little bit more. Notice if the bum's up in the air or if the hips have dropped, we want to feel that nice strong line from the base of the neck out through the heels, pressing back through the heels. Again, this can be done with the knees on the ground, but see, just keep that nice long line from the neck down to the knees. Hold for 3, pressing the ground away for 2, and 1. Exhale, knees, chest and chin to the mat, elbows tucked in, rolling the heart forward, untucking the toes, pressing the feet into the ground as we lift the chest forward. Exhale, tucking the toes, downward dog. Walking it out, nice and easy. Again, pressing the ground away. Feel that connection of the earth with the hands. Feel those shoulders engage. We're going to inhale, right leg up, looking forward. Stepping right foot into lunge, left foot to meet it. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up through center, hands extended up. Exhale, swan dive, fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins, nice flat back. Exhale, fold. Stepping left foot back to lunge, right foot to meet it. Again, choose to stay here in our high plank or on our knees. Or if you wish to join me, we're going to lower onto our forearms. So whichever your strongest arm is, whatever feels natural, come down onto forearms. From here, check in that shoulder is over the elbow. Hands and forearms are pressed into the ground and we're feeling those shoulder blades activate. Again, this can be done with the knees on the ground. Just keep that length in the spine. We're going to hold it here, or if you wish to join me, we're going to inhale center. As we exhale, we're going to reach the right hand out to the right and the left foot out to the left. Inhale back to center, left hand left, right foot right. Inhale center, exhale right hand, left foot out. Inhale center, exhale left hand, right foot out. Inhale center, exhale it out. Back to center, exhale it out. 2 more, both sides. Again, you can do this with the knees on the ground, or half and half. Listen to your body. Last one. Excellent. Back to center. From here, we're going to bring our weight back up into our high plank. Engage those shoulder muscles. Inhale here, exhale, knees, chest into the mat, rolling the heart forward, untucking the toes. We're going to hold it here. So I want you to really press the chest forward in our baby cobra. Lift the chest up. See if we can engage those lower back muscles to get a little bit more lift. Engage the abdominals. And then from here, see if we can hold the chest up, but hover the fingertips off the ground. really pressing the feet into the ground. And then from here, we're going to hover the feet off the ground, lifting them as high as we can, really feeling the glutes and lower back activate here. Lift the chest a little bit more. Nice little banana pose here for 3, for 2, and 1. Slowly release the hands, release the feet. We're going to tuck the toes under and gently press it back into our downward dog. Nice and easy, walk it out. We're going to inhale, right leg up, looking forward, stepping right foot into lunge, left foot to meet it, exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up to center, hands extended up, exhale, hands to heart. Second round, when you're ready, again, starting feet hip-width distance apart, nicely grounded, hands to heart, pressing the palms together. Check in with your breath. So really try to bring that nasal breath into your practice this morning. So even engaging with that inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose, and as you exhale, just really squeeze the core muscles to get every last little bit of air out of the body. Feel that engagement, just using the breath. We're going to inhale, arms out, reaching up. Exhale, swan dive, fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping right foot back to lunge, left foot to meet it. Again, we can choose to hold it here in our plank, or if you wish to join me in side plank, we're going to bring the left hand to the center of the mat, flipping over onto the outer blade of that left foot, and again, just checking that left shoulder is over the left wrist, and we're pressing the ground away. Again, if you need to come down onto that left knee, just press the hips toward the ceiling, press them forward and up. From here, we can bring the hand to the waist. Again, pressing those hips forward and up, or extending the right arm toward the ceiling, or maybe hovering that right foot up so it's in line with the hip, keeping that right foot active. You can take the gaze up if it feels good. Testing that balance for 3, for 2, and 1. Gently lower the foot. Bring that right hand back to meet left. Readjust in our high plank. Inhale here. Exhale, knees, chest, chin to the mat. Rolling the heart forward, untucking the toes. Pressing the chest forward. Exhale, tucking the toes, downward dog. Again, just walking it out, nice and easy. So if we're feeling it in the shoulders, again, layer 1, just press the ground away. See if we can engage the shoulder muscles. If we're still not feeling it, please do drop down onto the knees. So don't put any extra pressure onto the upper body. You're still getting that lovely core engagement. Inhale, right leg up, looking forward, stepping right foot into lunge, left foot to meet it, exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up through center, hands extended up. Exhale, swan dive, fold. Inhale, gaze forward, nice flat back. Exhale, fold. Stepping left foot back to lunge, right foot to meet it. Again, choose to hold it here in our high plank or with knees on the ground, or join me in side plank. Placing that right hand to the center of the mat, checking in that right shoulder's over the wrist. We're going to flip onto the outer blade of that right foot. We can drop down onto that right knee here. Bringing the left hand to the hip to start with, and then extending it up toward the ceiling. Pressing the hips forward and upward. So open and up, feeling those lats on the right side really engage here. Feeling it into those outer abdominals. We might hover that left foot up in line with the hip, pressing those hips skyward. Take the gaze up if you want to really challenge the balance for 3, for 2, and 1. Slowly release left foot. Left hand comes back to meet right. Readjust in our high plank. Get those alignments. Inhale here, exhale, knees, chest and chin to the mat, rolling the heart forward. We're going to come down onto the forearms straight away here. Setting up for a little Sphinx pose. So keep the shoulders over the elbows, and again we're pressing the forearms and hands into the mat, so we're engaging the shoulders, so we're not dumping the chest down toward the ground. Nice strong shoulders here. We're going to draw the chest forward, Feel a little release in that lower back as we engage the abdominals. And we're going to press the feet into the ground so legs are nice and active here. Little back bend, not much movement, but you're really activating those back muscles. See if you can really bring that breath deep into the belly to really stretch into the abdominals. Hold for 3, for 2, and 1. If this is enough, feel free to come right back into child's pose. If you want to join me in seal pose, we're going to flip the hands out so they're like little flippers. Palms are nice and wide, fingers are spread, grounding them into the mat, and then gently pressing the hands into the ground, keeping a flex in the elbows, drawing those shoulders back, and keep the abdominals engaged so we're not totally jumping into that lower back. We're going to hold it here for 3, big belly breaths, for 2, draw those shoulders back, and 1. Slowly release onto the forearms. We're just going to sit back into traditional child's pose just for a couple of breaths, just to release that lower back. A little bit of a back bend there. And just release the hands back by the feet. Allow the head rest onto the mat or onto a block. Allow the shoulders melt down. And just feel that nice release in the lower back. Hold it here for a couple of breaths. Every exhale, just allow the body melt out a little bit more. And then when you're ready, we're going to extend the hands out in front, tuck the chin under, press the hands into the ground as we tuck the toes under and press it back into our downward dog. Again, gently walking it out. Nice active shoulders here. We're going to inhale left leg up. As we inhale that left leg up, really see if you can press that right heel into the ground. So what happens here often, we bend that right knee. See if you can keep the extension in that back right leg. Looking forward between the hands, we're going to step that left foot into lunge with control. Right foot to meet it. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rolling up through center, hands extended up. Exhale, hands to heart. Nice time to take a drink. We've got one last little flow sequence. Again, similar to what we did on Tuesday with a few little additions. So see how you go. Again, if you need to drop down onto one knee in this, please, 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 please do. When you're ready, we're going to meet at the front. Feet are grounded, hip width distance apart. Same starting pose. Drawing those shoulders back, activating the shoulder blades. Pressing the palms together. Check in with that breath. Relax. We're going to inhale, arms out, reaching up. Exhale, swan dive fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping right foot back to lunge, keeping the right hand grounded. We're going to inhale that left arm up toward the ceiling. We're going to bend the left elbow and place the back of the hand toward the back of the lower back. And then we're going to press the hand into the back and draw that left shoulder back. Pressing that right heel toward the back of the room. That's a lot of backs there. Hold it here, opening the heart for 3. Gaze goes up if it feels okay. For 2. And 1. Pressing that left hand back to meet the right. We're going to draw that left foot back to meet the right. Coming into our plank. Hold for 3. For 2. And 1. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga to the ground. Chaturanga, keep those elbows tucked in. Roll the heart forward, untuck the toes. Press the chest open. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward dog. We're going to inhale that right leg up. Bending the right knee and opening the hips to the right side of the room. Allow that left heel drop toward the ground. Really pressing that right knee toward the ceiling. Equal weight into both arms, so chest is face forward. Hold for 3. Lift that knee for 2. And 1. Back to 3-legged dog. So again, this next sequence can be done with the left knee on the ground. We're going to inhale, look forward. As we exhale, right knee bends, moving forward into plank. Touch right knee to right elbow, hold. We're going to draw that right knee toward the wrist, hover, back to the elbow, and then inhale, extend it back. Activate that right glute to get the lift. Exhale, right knee bends to nose. Move forward into plank. Inhale, right leg back. Exhale, right knee to left elbow, twist in our plank, hold. Knee drops to the wrist, hold, back to the elbow, and then inhale back. So again, you can drop that left knee to the ground if you wish. Right knee to nose. Inhale back. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. To the wrist. Back to elbow. Inhale, extend it back. Exhale, right knee to nose. Inhale it back. Exhale, right knee to left elbow. To the wrist. Back to elbow. And extend it back. Exhale, knee to nose, looking forward between the hands. We're going to step that right foot between the hands. Coming on to the fingertips. Really pressing back through that heel. Feel that nice release into the hips as we draw the shoulder blades back. Press the chest forward. Lengthen through the spine. And as we exhale, just lower the hips a little bit closer toward the ground. Hold. Use the breath. Lengthen on the inhale. Release on the exhale for 3, for 2, and 1. With control, we're going to draw that left foot up to meet right. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rolling up to center. Hands extended up. Exhale, swan dive fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping left foot back to lunge, keeping left hand grounded. We're going to inhale that right arm up, bending the right elbow and placing the back of the hand into the lower back. We're going to press that hand into the back to draw the right shoulder back, taking the gaze back toward the ceiling. Pressing in to that left foot, pressing back through the heel for 3, for 2, and 1. Bringing the gaze back to the ground, right hand comes to meet left. We're going to step that right foot back to meet left into our plank hold for 3, for 2, really pressing the ground away, and 1. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga to the ground. Baby cobra or upward dog. Opening the heart, pressing the feet into the ground, engaging those abdominals. Exhale, downward dog. Finding our downward dog here. We're going to inhale that left leg up, bending the left knee, opening the hips to the left side of the room. Really drawing that right heel down toward the mat and really lifting that left knee. Both hands are placed evenly, shoulders and chest face forward. Hold, lift the knee for 3, for 2, and 1. Back into our 3-legged. Looking forward between the hands. We're going to inhale, bend the left knee to touch the left elbow in, forward into plank. Gently lower the knee toward the wrist, back to the elbow, and then inhale, extend that left leg back. This can be done on the right knee. Back knee to nose, forward into plank. Inhale, extend it back and lift. Exhale, left knee to right elbow, twist in our plank, hold, down to the wrist, knee back to elbow, and then inhale, extend it back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend it back. Exhale, left knee to left elbow, hold, down to the wrist, back to the elbow, inhale, extend it back. Exhale, knee to nose, nearly there. Inhale, extend it back. Exhale, left knee to right elbow, twist in our plank, hover to the wrist, back to the elbow. Inhale, extend it back, look forward between the hands. We're going to step that left foot between the hands into our lunge. High on the fingertips, allowing the hips melt toward the ground. Press back through that right heel. As we inhale, press the chest forward, lengthen the spine. As we exhale, allow those hips lower a little bit more toward the mat. Hold it here, relax with each exhale for 3, for 2, and 1. From here, we're going to flatten down onto both hands. We're going to step that left foot back to meet right, and then we're going to drop down onto the knees, coming into a tabletop. Knees here are about hip width distance apart. We can flatten out through the feet if it feels okay, or tuck the toes under if the knees feel cranky. We're going to come down onto the forearms, but keep the hips nice and high. If you think you might need your block for your head, you can always get it at this stage. And then we're going to extend the arms out in front, rest the head down onto the mat or onto a block if it doesn't quite get there.
Slight little engagement of the abdominals here, so we're not dumping totally into that lower back. And keep those arms active. And again, even if you want to get a little bit deeper into the shoulders, you can always place the block out in front. Place both hands onto the block and then allow the head sink down between the arms, and you just feel those shoulder blades release a little bit more. Again, if you've had enough, leave that block where it's at and just focus on that nice release. Every inhale, see if you can engage into the abdominals, and every exhale, just allow the body sink. And again, you could stay in this pose for a lot longer than what we're going to do this morning. Nice little release. And again, play around with the hips. So we're not sitting back onto the heels, even just bringing the hips slightly forward. See how that feels in the upper body. See how that feels in the chest, in the abdominals. Hold here for a few more breaths. If the hands are on a block, just gently take them off. We're going to tuck the chin into the chest, gently walking the hands back toward the body as we sit back onto the heels, and then just roll over onto your right side and extend the legs out in front. If you have a block, we'll use this just for the last pose. Otherwise, just come straight into your Savasana. So if we have a block, we can bend the knees, feet flat onto the ground. We're going to gently lift the hips, press them toward the ceiling, and then place that block in underneath that little flat part of the back. So not underneath the arch so that the bum's falling down and you're developing this funny little arch in the back, and not underneath the bum that you're not feeling anything. So just that little flat part in between should feel quite supported. And then extend both legs out, allow the feet drop out to the side, arms out by the side, lifting the chest toward the ceiling, melting the shoulder blades together. So if we don't have the block, just coming into our final Savasana here. If we feel we want a little bit more space into the front of the body, we can always tilt the block up to its second level, feeling that stable connection, and then extend the legs out. So it just really allows us stretch into the front of the body. So a lot of work into the abdominals there, so sometimes it's just nice to release it. See if you can take the breath here, whether you have the block or not, really deep into the belly. So feel the belly expand, draw that breath into the rib cage, the chest, and then just sigh it out as you exhale, release and let it go. So just take a few breaths to your own count, just drawing it really deep into the belly. Every exhale, just allow the body and mind to melt a little bit more. A lovely little pose to do if you spend a lot of your day in that forward flexion position, be it from your work or your sport or driving. It just allows us to create a little bit of restorative space into the front of the body without actually holding anything. If you have the block underneath the back, we're just going to gently bend the knees, bringing the feet flat onto the ground, lift the hips toward the ceiling so we can easily remove that block, and then allow the back melt down onto the ground, coming back into our Savasana. And then from here, wherever we're at, we're going to draw those knees in, hugging them in toward the chest, giving them a nice little squeeze, maybe rocking side to side in that lower back, just massaging it out. And then gently releasing the feet to the ground, release the grip, and then slowly rolling over onto our right hand side. Take a couple of breaths here. Just allowing the breath catch up with the body catch up with the mind. And in your own time, we're going to gently press into the ground to slowly draw ourselves up to seat. Head comes up last, nice and easy. And just come to any comfortable seat. So if it's cross-legged, sitting back on the heels, legs extended, whatever feels good.
And just sit nice and tall into the spine. So feel, hopefully, that extra little bit of activation into the core. Feel that strength, feel that stability and balance. So we're going to open the palms to the ceiling. We take 3 active closing breaths together. So we're going to inhale the arms out, reaching up, nice big circle. Interlocking fingers, exhale, side out through the lips and let it go. 2 more like that. And then gently bringing the hands to heart center, pressing the palms together and closing down the eyes. And just thanking yourselves for creating a little bit of space in your morning to come to the mat, to create some really good energy, some lovely strength and stability, and hopefully take that with you into the day and into the weekend ahead. And thank you as always for sharing your energy with me. Namaste.